Greetings, everybody. My name is Nobilo Zoe. I am your host for the Pioneers of Greatness show. I'm just here to alert you that this is part one of the interview that I've had with Mr. Yandisa Zulu, the CEO and founder of Zuluish Appliances and Automation. And yeah, we decided to make this a twofold one because there's just so much to grasp from the interview. So do stay tuned next week as we will be uploading part two of the interview. Take care. Goodbye. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the Empowerment Podcast. My name is Nobilo Zoe. I am your host for the Pioneers of Greatness show. And we are certainly back to empower, inspire, and equip you. So yes, it's a Friday, and this is the day where we have our guests who come and equip us and inspire us on their life journeys, because we want to know their stories so that we may draw inspiration and also just get the ins and outs, the recipe, the secrets of how to pioneer towards greatness, even though they're still on the journey towards becoming pioneers of greatness, and others already at the top. And so we just want to know, how really did it all start and how did they get here, so that we can learn from that. Now, do remember, we are available for you on all the social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Empowerment Podcast. Please do like our page and our group. We'd like to just meet you and become a part of a family with you. We're also available on Instagram, empowerment_podcast, on Twitter at Empowerment Podcast. We're also on TikTok, so you can follow us and we'll follow you back. And we also on YouTube, where we are also Empowerment Podcast. And lastly, we have a WhatsApp line where you can engage with us and just give us your feedback. We really love to hear from you. And even if you have suggestions and options, opinions that you would like to add to make this podcast bigger and better, do contact us on 065 615 6641. We will surely get back to you. And remember, we are here for you from Monday to Sunday with power-packed shows from amazing guests who are just bringing you great content and great guests. So stay tuned and be inspired. So I don't want to waste much time today because I have an amazing guest, guys. I'm very excited. I'm very honored. Just mixed emotions, because this one is a big one. It's a celebration one. It's a celebration moment because it's so recent. It's a new baby. We're very happy as South Africa and the world at large. I have with me today Mr. Yandisa Saint Zulu, and you probably know the new brand Zuluish, and he is the CEO of Zuluish Automation, Appliances and Automation. Now, we just want to say welcome to the Empowerment Podcast, Mr. Zuluish. How are you feeling today?
You are the only people that can call a person by a company name. Can you imagine Phil Knight? Can you imagine meeting Phil Knight and say, "How? Good morning, Mr. Nike." That would sound very odd. But hey, thank you for having me, guys. The lighting is not the best. I think you don't get into this business waiting to get interviews or anticipating to get interviews. You just want to build the product. That's basically what you do. Yeah. Actually, if you look at my industry, they're not the coolest people in terms of looks.
Okay.
Really, we don't pay attention to such things. You just pay attention to what you're doing. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Definitely pushing the mandate of which is business all the way. All other things will just fall into place in its time if there be a need to. So we're so very honored to have you here. Thank you so much for making the time to be here with us. Would you just briefly give us a background on who you are and who are you all about? Who is Mr. Yandisa?
Well, I guess that generally has to do with the fact that a person was born somewhere. Oh, you
Cool.
can probably say something like, "Oh, I'm from here,"
Yeah.
and I'm sorry to disappoint you because my upbringing is a pretty complex. I
Yeah.
was considered the Eastern Cape. I was born in Joburg. I grew up in the Eastern Cape, KZN, and then back to Joburg. So you'll tell me
Wow.
where I'm from, right? So I have,
Yeah.
a bit on of every province, or rather in these three provinces.
Yeah.
But other than
Yeah.
that, I just had an upbringing, very humble upbringing. I was always a curious person. I taught myself a lot. I taught myself a lot of things. Even in
Wow.
this industry, I taught myself everything there is to know about the industry. I'm not there
Sure.
yet, still learning,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just happen to accumulate enough information and knowledge, and build my craft and build my skill to be able to be where I am today. So yeah, generally, that's who I am. So
Cool.
yeah, Yandisa is the name, Zulu is the surname, Saint is my
Right.
middle name, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So uZulu ke uMageba, descendantly
Cool.
from the Cape, and my mom, she's descendantly from the Eastern Cape. So,
Okay.
well, I guess the best part of me is connected to my mother's side, but
Okay.
the proudest part is connected to my dad because of the heritage and obviously because of
Cool.
how I am to
Yeah.
my name. I love it. I love it.
Mm.
Yep.
Amazing. Amazing. That's a beautiful story. So, I'm just intrigued by the fact that you mentioned that you were born in Johannesburg, moved to the Eastern Cape, came back to Johannesburg. So yes, you were quite all over the place. But I just know that some things they happen and we don't know how to explain them. But I'm sure during those stages in your life there were things that were of essence that were added to your life and that are now some sort of connections to where you are or in your path to becoming who you want to be. So we can just call it a mystery, an interesting mystery, right?
Okay, we can call it that. We can, I guess, because life is a journey. You know, you
Yeah,
never know why you're going through some things until you get to a place and
sure.
you look, oh, that's why I had to go through one.
Right.
You know,
True.
uh,
Yeah.
I guess if I grew up rich, if I came from a financially okay family, it would be
Yeah.
expected of me to be them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. But
Yeah.
because I come from an abstractly poor family, people will look at
Mm.
me and like, how the hell did you do it? I mean, my mother found
Yeah.
out about you on TV. I
Wow.
never told her. Yeah. So I was driving to the interview on ETV and I called them like, where are you? She was like, no, I'm still in bed. I'm sleeping. I'm like, oh, okay. So please wake up around this time and just watch ETV. Maybe you'll see someone that you know there. And she saw me.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
so beautiful. What a surprise.
Oh, no, it's not beautiful according to her. She was like, I'll strangle you. How can I find out about such on TV? And
Yeah, you
I mean,
can't wrong though.
no, but that's the thing. In my industry, there must be some sort of detachment from your family, right?
Hmm.
It's like if you were working for the Secret Service of South Africa,
Yeah, yeah.
there must be a detachment from your family.
Sure, sure.
My uncles have tried to get exclusive information, like, oh, so where are you guys based? I'm like, I can't tell you that. Like,
No?
oh, you're my nephew. I know that. Yes, I am your nephew, but
Yeah,
the company is your nephew.
yeah. This is strictly business.
Yeah, it's not that I love you any less. It's not that I don't respect you.
Hmm.
It's not that
Hmm.
now you can't, claim that you know this person, you've raised this person. It is just for
Hmm.
the. I mean, the vision of the company is bigger than all of us.
Okay.
When all of us, I mean me and my family.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
Totally.
there's that I can't share, and then there's things that I can be able to share. And in
Sure.
sharing, here's the thing about my industry.
Mm.
By me not, I'm protecting you.
Mm. Mm.
Because if
Yeah.
I told you specific type of information, someone
Yeah.
hears that an interesting information, they'll come for you.
Yeah. True.
They will come for you.
Yeah.
Be nice. You know? So obviously you are dealing with specially trained people.
So,
So when you say you don't know anything, chances are they will see through you that this person really doesn't know what we're talking about.
yeah.
So there'll be some sort of vibe you give off that will tell them that you know more than what you are telling them. So yeah, but it's exhilarating.
Amazing. This is I'm just grabbing so much wisdom from the things that you're saying, things that are not mentionally normally mentioned and talked about and may get even misunderstood. Some people may
Yeah.
misinterpret it with pride and be like, ever since he started making it, now he forgot us. But you just explained it
Yeah.
so well that this is actually protection, this is actually love, and it's also professionalism. And yeah, man, you're taking and you're noting all the things that you're saying right now and right here. I want us to get into your new invention, which is the Zuluish kettle.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us about the development of it? How did it transpire, and how will it better the lives of people? What is it? I want to say what is special about it. Of
But the
course,
company
it's special. I just wanted to. Hey,
but the company of the product, are you talking
you can tell.
about the company of the product?
We
Because
can talk about.
here's the
Right.
thing, people would actually look at the kettle and
Right.
finish.
Cool.
We're not kettle specialists.
Yes. Yes.
A kettle is one of the things we are going to do. It does not even amount to 5%.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So usually that question is ambiguous because people would
Yeah.
ask because they want to know specifically about kettles.
Okay.
So to them,
All
the
right.
company that, right? And that's not what we do. That's not all we do. Rather, we don't only do kettles. Yeah, we do quite a number of things. Others we are allowed to talk about them. Others we are not allowed to talk about them. But let me be general and speak about the journey of research, and we call it R&D, right?
Okay.
It needs a lot.
Yeah.
I won't lie to
Okay.
you. It needs a lot. You
Yeah.
must have money to earn.
Sure.
You must have.
Totally.
Imagine you were doing R&D about your makeup, right? And the type of the chemicals you're going to use. Oh, let's say if you crush stones to get to the powder that actually does the makeup, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say it costs you the type of stone you're going to use is not found in South Africa. It's found in Morocco.
Yeah.
Just go to Morocco. You have to buy the stone. You have to pay to take it out of Morocco. It has to get here. You have to find someone who's qualified, who's going to give you accurate information about this type of stone.
Yeah.
You have to process it. You have to write reports about it. You have to make sure that compliance, because you don't want someone putting this thing on their face and their face bands because they will sue you.
Sure.
There must be compliance, right?
Mm.
You must look at the legalities. Obviously, it's compliance, but compliance, there's compliance of the product and there's compliance of the company.
Yeah.
Right? So I counted 9. How much does it cost to do this 9 things? It costs a lot. It costs a lot of time.
Sure.
At some point, You have to detach from people. You can't
Mm.
date. I'm a,
Yeah.
you can't date. I've not watched TV since 2016.
Oh wow.
I don't.
Wow.
There was a time in life where I stopped watching TV because the type of content that I need for a content creator like you can watch TV and get inspiration. And I'm like, wow, this is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Not in, right? A
Very
person who's on
understandable.
the operational side of the business can watch TV and find ideas to incorporate in my company. But me as a
Yeah.
person developing products, such content is not available on TV.
Mm. Yeah.
Right? For
Yeah.
example, I don't like social media, but social media is
Yeah.
great for my business.
True. True.
So I stay there even if I don't want to be there. Even if Twitter is dragging me and trolling me, I have to read
Yeah.
through the comments and check who has a point and who doesn't. It does not mean I'm
Mm.
going to respond though.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
one of the guys that is in the industry, he said, uh, there's always one goal I'm working towards because I know that this process is very timely, it's very costly, and one mistake can cost you everything.
Mm.
I'm just working. I'm just working to have two things in order, at least if I go down. I want to have enough money in the bank to pay
Mhm.
my employees for the rest of the year. And I want to have enough finances to keep my R&Ds going. That's research and development.
Sure.
So in our industry, we are always working towards that. Oh, if flip hits the fan, I just want to have enough money to pay my employees for the year, and I want to have enough money to run my R&Ds. Because the crux of the business is R&D. You don't just wake up and want to do a kettle just because it's a kettle.
Hmm.
You don't want to be just one person in the pew. I mean, why would I come for your kettle if there is a kettle next door that I can buy that does the same thing as yours?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
everything is the same. Everything is the same. Because if the more products you introduce, or rather, the more development you get in the business world in a country, at some point, people will stop buying products just because of patriotism. They'll start buying products because of competitiveness.
Yeah.
So if it does, there will be a time where you see right now, people that open companies, they can get false impression that the company is growing. Until the company is tough, people stop buying products because they are just supporting a black person. They start buying products because they really make sense.
Sure.
You can see that between Puma, Adidas, and Nike. Puma and Adidas, they are from the same country.
Okay.
They are from the same family. They were created by brothers, right? They started with Adidas, I think. They ended up with Puma. The other brother branched out in Puma. Both of these brothers were taught by their father. Their father was into slippers and sandals. The toxicity between the brothers was so heavy, such that they died without talking to each other. They were not in good standing. In actual fact, according to history, if you wore, there's a time in Germany, there's a city in Germany where if you wore Adidas and you get into that city, you would be killed.
No ways.
Telling you.
Wow.
Telling you. So, right now, you don't just go out and buy a sneaker, right? You don't just go out, and I'm not going to mention South African products because the brothers are doing great. They're doing so well, right? I'm going to speak about your American and German, European companies. Right now, when you go out of your house to want to buy a sneaker between these three companies, you're not just looking for just any sneaker.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you are looking for a special product. I'm speaking at a global market. So right now, people can buy my kettle because I'm the only black person doing this thing right now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
tomorrow, three or four or five.
Hmm.
Now the competition will be tough, which is great. You will
Yeah.
buy an appliance that makes sense, not because
Sure.
it's done by a black. That's actually
Correct.
that's the greatest way of doing business. Otherwise, it's just going to give birth to lazy entrepreneurs. Sorry to
Yeah.
talk too much, but
Um, wow, I'm just, I'm speechless actually because these are things we don't even know about actually. I mean, you are giving us insights to really deep things that go on behind the scenes
mm,
before the actual product is born. And I mean, anybody wanting to start or venture into any business and
yeah.
who will be looking to this or tune in will really appreciate such information. And it's really, really I just want to say I respect you for respecting your craft and being disciplined. You say you stopped watching TV in 2016. That just means you are here to to make big waves. You care to work. You care to win. You have no time to waste on
So
things that are not really adding to your craft at this current moment.
yeah, I'm not saying TV is wrong. People must not get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying TV is wrong, but I'm saying everything you do comes with a specific sacrifice. I
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
a lot of TV growing up. A lot of
Sure.
it, right?
Yeah.
I was not one of those kids that liked to strata. I would go out because Betsamaka and there was literally not so much to do. And
Sure.
in terms of consumption and content, we were limited because we were watching just your the broadcast. I mean, the SAPC and ETV, right?
Hmm.
So there was not really much content that that spoke to me. I still think there is a gap there, actually, for people
Okay.
like you. You see, there's one thing that you know. If there's a world that will never be disrupted, we call it disruption, right?
Right.
Okay, let me explain it
Sure.
like this. When you go to spa, who's the first person you meet when at the door? Security guard, right?
Security. Yeah.
And you walk inside, you usually see the tellers, right?
Sure.
Get
Yeah.
inside, you meet the merchandisers, people that pack the stuff.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And then there's someone
Yeah.
who's sitting at what room watching the cameras, right?
Mm.
Then you take the product, you go to the teller scans them, and then you pay either with cash or card, and then you meet the security. They actually confirm that, oh, okay, everything is good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when I speak about disruption, I would be talking about Amazon store. When you go to Amazon store, you meet nobody. There's no security guard,
Wow.
no teller, there's no merchandiser. You go to their warehouse, there's nobody. There are robots working there. When you go to get to pay, there's a machine, you scan your card, or you can put in cash, you scan for yourself, you put in the
Right.
plastic, you walk out the store. There's literally no one. There's just a store manager.
Hmm.
One person. It's the
Wow.
store that actually makes a turnover of, let me give an example, 100 million rand annually. There's only one person working there. That's what we call disruption, right? Now,
Right.
if you look at people like you, people that do your job, you are in
Yeah.
action, right? Content creation. That's one world we don't think will ever be disrupted because it needs you. It can't be impacted. There must be a person. We connect to people. Perhaps in terms of the equipment, what
Yeah.
actually takes 10 things to put together one show. In the next 5 years, it will take 2 things. but the person will always be a person. So you will
Yes.
always be, right? So if there's anyone who won't lose their job, that is you.
Wow.
However, it must be a re-education that you must do.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Because if those 10 things, let's say there's a camera, there's a mic, there's this, there's that, there's lights, you know, if they have to be compressed in, they're going to be expensive. They're going to be a bit tricky up, and you must know how to operate such things, right? So a crew of 200 people, probably in the next 5 to 10 you will only need 10 people. What happens to the 90? They lose their jobs. They're useless. In the next 10 years, 10 years is a lot actually. We're looking at 2023, 2025.
Right.
10 million. I'm not saying 10 million people will lose jobs now. I'm saying 10 million jobs will be lost. So there's a child right now who's so excited. Who is so excited?
Right.
They're graduating. In the next 3 to 5 years, their degree will be useless.
Yeah.
Right? You go to America, they're hiring 4-year-old engineers. You go to Netherlands, they're hiring 12-year-old engineers. You go to Israel, they're hiring 14-year-old engineers. You go to China, they're hiring 3-year-old engineers. I'm not saying don't go to school.
Wow.
Go to school. Go to school.
Sure.
If you have an opportunity of going to school, go to school.
Go. Yeah.
If you don't, develop yourself.
Okay.
Develop yourself. However, if you go to countries like, they have a piece for everyone. And speaking about a population of 1.4 billion, they make sure that they educate everyone. If they're going to transition to a new type of economy, they prepare their people. Now you guys don't own these things. South Africa, you don't own these things. Who's going to prepare you? In actual fact, I have to condition you to remain my customer for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Interesting.
I must come here and donate $500 million. Right? And then you're like, oh, this is a lot of, it's a fraction of their investment. It is a fraction of their investment. You know why? Let me take an example. Let me make an example. So Steve Jobs died, right? Steve Jobs was a CEO of Apple. He founded the company in 1976. You have Bill Gates. He founded the company in 1974. Right? You have Bill was just doing software development, right? That's right. And then you have Steve Jobs. He was doing both software and hardware, machine learning. We call it machine learning, right? So meaning there must be of the actual box, the thing that you call beautiful, that you call an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Tangible. Like I have a phone right now, I'm holding a phone. That's what I'm talking about. In actual fact, Apple has never produced, never manufactured the hardware of iPhone. It's always been Foxconn. And Foxconn is in China. The owner is not from China, but the manufacturer is in China. People don't question such things. I'm not there. I'm not there. So Steve was a great CEO. He died, right? I'm not gonna take you off Apple. He was fired. He came back. He saved Apple by an iPod and an ad, right? Later he died. So when he dies, obviously there must be a change of CEOs, and then the journey continues until a guy called Tim Cook, who's the current CEO of Apple right now, comes picture. did a sterling job. He's one of the CEOs that have held, they've held it up. Because if you look at the stocks, there's never been a change. The share price didn't drop, and so forth and so forth. Which is, now, Apple was the first tech company to hit $1 trillion when it comes to market value.
Yeah.
So that means if Apple decided to sell their company, it would be worth 18 trillion rands minimum.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So 1 year they're going through their turnovers and so forth and so forth. And they realize they are not growing. They've hit a ceiling. They are not growing. And then Tim Cook says, look, we are going to stop being a tech company. We're going to be a service company. Because now Amazon is here. They are applying pressure on them, which is a great company as well. So what does that mean? They're going to be a service company. It actually means at some point you're not going to buy Apple, an iPhone. You're not going to buy a Mac. They're going to listen to you. Meaning you pay rent, they own it. Now, there's certain things you can't do on Apple right now. There's certain things they can't do because you own that phone. Whatever phone you are using. There's certain things they can't you own. But if they listen to you, there's probably nothing they can't do because it belongs to them anyways. Because annually, this is how annually you have to bring it back. Let's say there's iPhone 12 right now, right?
Yeah.
13 is coming. Let's say they start from iPhone 14 to to leasing them. So you're going to use it for 12 months, right?
Yeah.
You take it back after a year. They give you a new one, meaning an iPhone 15. You use it for a year. After a year, you take it back. They give you an iPhone 16, right?
Sure.
There's something, you see, the new type of gold, the new type of oil in our world right now is data harvesting. This is sad, ne? But I'm going to personify you. Imagine if I had information, if I could see your inbox. People's nudes.
Yeah.
If I saw your internet batteries.
Sure.
That information is valuable to them. It's worth millions. You know why? Because if they were to take, let's say they were to take every iPhone, every Apple product, they took all the information that is loaded there. They develop a product. They will develop a product that will make you feel it will be automatic for you to buy it. Because it's an extension of you. They took everything they know about you. They created a tailor-made product.
Sure. Yeah.
So you won't have it will be very natural for you to buy. Really.
Yeah, I get you. Really, really.
Now, if they did that with Africa, they are going to keep on creating great products for us. And we'll keep on buying. That's why I'm saying you won't have a choice but to buy it. And I'm not talking about pay. I'm talking about phones pay. But anyways, you can continue. Sorry.
I feel like we are in a business seminar and training. Wow, this is really mind-boggling. Believe that there will be other opportunities where platforms, of course, when the time is right. And yeah, I'd like us to talk about the name or the brand Zuluish in terms of it. What does it symbolize to you? What does it mean? Why did you select the name Zuluish?
What does it symbolize? For me, it because there's believe me, there's great companies in South Africa that are doing great things in automation.
Great.
Right? But I haven't seen a company that does both automation and appliances in South Africa or in Africa.
Cool.
So that will automatically mean if that's the direction we're taking as a company, we are actually challenging global competitors. We just want to find ourselves in that stage.
Yeah.
But the first thing that you must pay attention to is that you must be identifiable. Right?
True. Yeah.
Right now, if I say Nike, the general person would think America, right?
Yeah.
The more research person will actually think Greek because Nike is a Greek word. But anyways, we're not there. But we're just speaking about ability, right?
Okay.
You would just think America. If I said Samsung, what do you think of? What country do you think of? Samsung.
China.
It's Asia, but Samsung is from South Korea. It was established 1948. Yeah, 1948, and then LG was established in 1938.
Okay.
Can I tell you something very interesting?
All right.
The other one started by selling fried fish. The other one started by selling sugar cane.
Wow.
Samsung means mountains, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
they are from the country, South Korea. Samsung only started getting involved in electronics in 1968, 1969, 1970, 1971, 72. Right? Let's take Nokia, Finland. They did not start with cell phones. While you are young, you probably have never seen a Nokia phone. I mean, the 3310, probably that's it. I mean, that's what you can remember. Let's go back from their first cell phone. Number one, Nokia is big on agriculture.
What?
Big on agriculture. That's what they do.
Okay.
They only later started getting involved in making cell phones. And obviously, people like me will know, like people that actually are interested in this industry. It went down because they refused Android. Android is now owned by Google. But now, Nokia is the safest Android phone because they are partners and so forth and so forth.
Yo.
But here's the thing. If I say Samsung, you automatically think Asian, right? If I say Zuluish and you are from Europe, you will never miss it. You'll know that this is an African company from South Africa. Shaka Zulu. That's what I was.
Wow.
What I was looking for. Must be identifiable.
Sure.
Right? Now, if you are into following the progresses of companies every 12 months, you would have your Forbes, you would have your Fortune 500. Fortune 500 is the most famous. It's the most pursued companies. They compete to be on that list, right? And there's beautiful CEOs that are there. I mean, they're doing so amazing. I mean, you have people like your Carlos Gohan, who was a CEO of 2 great companies in Fortune 500, different countries. He was a CEO of Renault is from France. He was a CEO of Nissan. Nissan is from Japan. So you are leading 2 companies from 2 different countries.
Wow.
They are both in the Fortune 500.
Wow.
So to get into that list, lady, your fight to get, and your papers, your numbers, they speak for you. So he's one of the guys that did very well. But if I say Nissan, you won't miss it. It's from Japan. If I say Renault, it's from France.
Right.
You can't You can't miss that. So you guys say Zuluish. It's not Zuluish. It's not. This is not the ish of the Zulus, no.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you look at those companies, most of them, people, or rather, the name of the company, they reflect their background, their history. Meaning, they are named after people. They are named after their last names.
Mm.
Yes.
Right?
So
yes.
That's where I come from. I mean, I have ikas lagamageba running through my veins, and that's what I wanted to build on top, so that my kids one day can say, I mean, you must be able to introduce yourself in Doha, that's Qatar, and people recognize your surname.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To them, you see, to other continents, it is an African breakthrough. We are celebrating Africa.
Sure.
To Africa, it's going to be a national breakthrough. Wow, South Africa is the guy that does appliances. In South Africa, I know it will be narrowed down to the fact that, oh, there's a Zulu guy. In KZN, it will be narrowed to family. In family, it will be narrowed to a person.
Yo, deep. That's deep. I get you. I get you.
So Zuluish, the wish comes from the word dream. It's a derivative name for the word dream.
Okay.
So it has always been my dream to build a company like this in South Africa.
Wow.
Simple. It has nothing to do with the ish. No. We are not that petty, you know.
Definitely. Yeah. Amazing. That is so simple and beautifully explained. And wouldn't have heard it anywhere better than from the mouth of the CEO. Thank you, Mr. Yandisa. I would like us to just talk about now, as you have, I know this is not the actual launch of your company or your appliances as yet, but you have introduced the Zuluish kettle and there has been a response from the public. Starting from August, when you just first posted that picture where you're holding the box and the kettle, and that just went wild. Yeah. How has the response been and the support? What would you advise? How would you advise any upcoming entrepreneurs who are also just wanting to come out of the box? I also remember you posted something about mental wellness. If you are an entrepreneur, you've got to get that in check before you even start. Can you just take us through those things?
Okay, I guess a lot of people caught a moving train.
Okay,
but
okay.
It did not actually start from that picture.
Really?
That was deep. We were deep into movement by that time.
Yeah.
That is usually the picture that, I mean, a lot of media houses took and they wrote their articles using it. Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that actually went into me releasing the product. There were photo shoots, there were PR teams that were involved, there was administration. There's a lot of things that go into that. Right?
Cool.
I think this picture 16 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but I think I'm 15 days old today. And I just posted it on the Facebook business page, and then I went and I wrote a piece on my personal page. It's not a page, on personal, like, then I tagged it. And I went to sleep because there was nothing I was going to wait for. I went to sleep. And then the next morning, obviously, life had changed totally.
Yeah.
Life had changed totally. For me, really, it was more about the features and that to let people know that, you know what, you need this kettle. I mean,
Yeah.
This is a very difficult time for
Yeah.
South Africans.
Sure.
Mostly, that's what I was thinking, right? And I'll support that by saying, if you look at similar technology, you can go online and check. If you look at similar technology, you'll get it for like 700 to 900.
Yeah. That's
and you'll
true.
have to, right? So
Right.
when we released this product to the people, it was a product of the people. It's a need. Like I tell people, this is not a luxury. If you want to buy a go to a specific store, you'll get a very popular brand that we know, and you'll pay. This is for people that really, really, really need the functions of this kettle, right? That's obvious because of how different it is. It's 70% bigger than your normal kettle.
True.
It can keep your water hot for an hour.
Amazing.
You don't have to replug.
Wow.
You know?
Yes.
That means, and also it's induction technology, meaning you save a lot of electricity. Now, speaking about induction, we're speaking about eco-friendliness.
Okay.
But be careful when you answer questions around that part, right? But this, for now, I'll tell you this: there are appliances right